Hello and welcome to today's show. Well, boys and girls, I have my council tax advice for the year. Council tax, dear. £920, dear. For the whole year, £920. Fortunately, we are permitted to pay monthly. I mean, are we supposed to be grateful for that? Eh? God's sake, £920 odd. And that's with a 25% discount. Because I live on my own now. I say I live on my own, you know. Please don't pass this on to the authorities. Because this is our secret, okay? If I tell you something, you must promise not to tell the authorities, yes? The Bracknell Council, don't tell them. Are you ready? I'll tell you what, come a bit closer. I'm going to tell you. I don't want to say this out loud because you never know who's listening, right? Don't tell anyone, right? The council tax, okay? The council tax is it's this bill that everyone in the UK gets every year, and it's supposedly there to pay for things like to have bins emptied, general maintenance. I mean, they send a letter and everything, right? Where your money goes, okay? Where your money goes. Part of it goes to the police, right? X amount goes to the police, and then they have a bit here. Some of it goes to the fire authorities. Now, I don't mind that, dear. I don't mind money going to the fire authorities or the police. But then we have the leaflet, how your money is spent, okay? And it goes on to talk about major works and improvements, improvements at primary schools, extended schools, children's centres, Garfield College, highways, infrastructure maintenance, council buildings, Southfield Park, which is a famous thing down the road, and affordable housing, right? Strangely enough, no mention of the wages that people get in the council, dear. You know, these great big fat things sitting in their plush offices with oak furniture and thick carpets. No mention of that, dear. And how each and every year they give themselves another 10% rise. What a bunch of thieving gits they are. They really are. I don't like people in council offices who give out the and are sitting there on gold mines, basically. Anyway. That's neither here nor there. What I wanted to say is I actually get 25% off, right? And the reason is I tick the box that says I haven't got anyone else living here. So I am a single person, okay, living in a house on my own. But I didn't mention that you can't tell them this. I don't want you writing in and saying, oh, there's this bloke that does a talk show, United Kingdom Talk, and he lives in Bracknell. His name is Chris Reardon, and he has something else living at his house. Because you're supposed to tick this box as long as there's no one else living here. But, you know, I have, very quietly, just a minute. There's no one listening, is there? I didn't mention the cat. I didn't mention the cat. What do you reckon? Will I get away with this, dear? I didn't mention the cat. I just wanted to share that with you, okay? Let me sit back down over here. So, you know, that's our secret. And I trust you with my life. I absolutely trust you with my life. Please don't tell them that, okay? I'm not really here alone. It's a little furry thing downstairs with 4 legs and a tail. There's 2 of us here, me and her with the 4 legs and the tail. But please don't tell them that, otherwise it's going to cost me over £300, dear. And I can't afford it, dear. How can I afford to pay these taxes and to sit here and spend vast sums of money making this highly polished television presentation 4 times a week, dear? Eh? God's sake, where will it all end? Anyway, so that's the council tax. Once again, we're ripped off for hundreds of thousands of pounds. You know, in my opinion, not for the bins being emptied, not for the highways, not for the fire or the police, but so those fat people at the top of the council can sit there and get ever more richer, give themselves another rise, no doubt, of another 10% this year. Because that's how it works. They choose how much extra money they can have, and they just vote it through. How is that allowed? How did we ever get to that? Them and us. Oh, it makes my blooming blood boil, it does. Don't even get on to the MP's expenses scandals. Okay, that's how it is. Now, there's an email address to the show. A very warm welcome to you. My name's Chris Reardon. This is United Kingdom Talk, our 4 times a week talk show. 3 recorded shows and 1 live show a week. The live show, you can join in by telephone, Skype and email, and that's on Monday afternoons at 12 o'clock UK time. To find that, go to unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, top left-hand corner, click the yellow Listen Live button, OK? unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, Monday afternoons, 12 o'clock UK time, top left-hand corner, click the yellow Listen Now Live. This is the show that reaches out and touches you up, boys and girls. I'm reaching out and touching you. I'm touching you on this wonderful day. Well, I say wonderful day. We've had a few nice days, and today it's all a bit grizzly and rainy. So I'm glad I did my gardening yesterday. Boys and girls, the gardening has commenced. At last. Last week. I mean, it said it all really last week when the weather forecast came on the television, and this weather, I think it was a weather lady, she said, and for the first time this year, it will go above 60 degrees Fahrenheit. That just shows you how cold it's been this year so far. Here we are, halfway through March, and it's the first day this year we've actually gone above 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Good, isn't it? So hopefully that's it now. I've got my fingers crossed. So last week I did a bit of gardening, the first bit of gardening I've done this year. And you may remember, if you were here with us last year, you may remember I spent a lot of time growing tomato plants last year. I had 25 plants. Only right towards the very end of the season, I lost, and I had so many tomatoes, it was unbelievable. But I lost about 95% of them to blight, tomato blights, which is little brown spots, which very quickly cover the whole fruit, and it looks horrible things. So I'm hoping this year I don't have that. Now, I've already got some tomato seeds in little trays there in the airing cupboard. They've not germinated yet. And I went I went last week down to the garden centre, and I purchased just 4 plants that were, I don't know, a month, probably about 6 to 8 weeks old. So that gives me some tomatoes to start with. And I bought different varieties, one different variety, 4 completely different varieties. I only remember the title of one of them was Gardener's Delight. One of them was a plum type tomato. I can't remember the other one, and the 4th one was a tomato, and it was a very dark colour. It was like a mauve blacky colour. And I thought, well, it might be quite interesting to see what one of those tastes like. Might just taste like a normal tomato. I don't know, but I thought it might be a nice idea to try some different varieties as well. So I bought 4 small plants yesterday. I bought 3 Levington garden grow bags. They were a very, very good price in the garden centre. These are for specifically 4 tomato plants, and they were £2 each. How do they do it for that? That is so cheap. £2. Well, it was basically, I say £2 each. I think there was like something like £3 each, but 3 for £6, which I thought was very, very good value for money. So I bought 3 of those, and I also bought 3 very large bags of potting compost. Again, they were on special offer. They were 60 litres each, and they were 3 bags for £10. So there I am, pushing this rather heavy trolley along to the till. The garden centre I go down is just down the road. It's what's it called? It's called Longacres Garden Centre in Bracknell. Massive place, absolutely massive, this garden centre. Once again, it's called Longacres. I don't think I've ever been in there and not come away with nothing. You know, And there's so much in that place. It seems to be quite well run. The only thing that they don't seem to be able to get going is the tills in there. They do have a number of tills, and they always seem to be fully manned. But the queues just build up so quickly, massive queues, and they've never seemed to be able to get that quite under control. The whole the whole paying mechanism within that store. It doesn't seem to matter when you go in there. You always got a queue for at least 5 or 10 minutes, but it's just the way it is. Excellent garden centre in there, I must say. So I bought those, and then I got this bags of earth into the car, which was a bit of an effort really, because I've kind of put my back out a bit. Now it doesn't hurt, and I can't feel it while I'm sitting here talking to you, right? But a few days ago, I was up on the roof cleaning my solar panels, and I came back down, and I've got this I bought a new ladder. All right. Now the old ladder I've got, it does get to the top of the house, but it's a little bit short, and you have to go almost to the top of the ladder to do the work that you're going to do. And there's like 3 rungs, and then it's the top, and I'm on the 3rd rung. So when you get at the top there's nothing else to hang on to other than the guttering, and you don't want to be hanging on to the guttering really. Well, I've had this ladder now for 10 years, but it's since I've got the solar panels that I realise actually it's a little bit dangerous. You need a bit of extra ladder really above you to kind of hold on to and steady yourself a little bit, you know. So last weekend I ordered a new ladder, which is 3 sections. The old one was 2 sections. This is 3 sections. And that came last week. And I put it up the side of the house. It is, of course, because it's 3 sections, it's heavier than the ladder that's 2 sections. And I think at some point I must have hurt my back a little bit, possibly while I was lifting it or while I was up the ladder. And now it's difficult to straighten up. All right, I'm sitting here now, can't feel anything wrong at all. But if I actually get up, and then, oh, that's it now. You see, I'm kind of bent a little bit over, and I've got to get up slowly, and it kind of hurts just at the bottom of my spine on the kind of left. And I can feel that as I straighten up. Once I've straightened up, I can kind of walk along, but I can feel something pulling there. I can actually feel something pulling there. So it's obviously a little bit of a strain or something like that. A case of sitting there and just waiting for it to sort itself out, I suppose. So I have, as I say, it hurts a little bit. It's a bit of a pain. It's okay. It seems to be okay in the swimming pool. The other thing it's difficult to do is now cock my leg over my bicycle when I'm going for a cycle, either down to the shops or down to the swimming pool or something like that. It does actually hurt to cycle, so that's my back. Where were we? Oh, yes, okay. So I managed to get the bags of earth in the car with a bit of effort. Actually, it wasn't too bad. Drove back home, and then my garage is not part of the house. It's kind of in a block of garages. So I then had to carry all the earth, bag by bag, back to the house. Oh, dear, that was an effort. I put it over my shoulder. It's not so bad, actually. Once you've got a big bag or a weight on your shoulder, it's getting it on there. You know, pulling it out off the seat in the car and then lifting it up and chucking it over your shoulder. But I did it eventually. And got all the bags of earth and, of course, the plants and the shopping, because I went shopping as well to Sainsbury's up the road, back to the house. I put the grow bags in part of the garden, the same part of the garden they were in last year, actually. There's 3 grow bags so far, so that's enough room for 9 plants in there, tomato plants. They're on the grass now, awaiting to be used. Some of the sunflowers as well. Now, sunflowers, I'd already germinated in the airing cupboard. I think I've already told you. Taken those out of there, put them on the windowsills upstairs here, and they've all grown extremely quickly. In a week, one has grown 3 inches. I'm not lying. 3 inches this thing is. So they're now starting to kind of bend over, so they've got to be put in bigger pots. I took those downstairs, put them in the bigger pots, filled with earth, a little stick in there to hold them up, and they look happy now. and just waiting for other things to germinate, really. Today, probably after the show, although it's a little bit damp, if it's raining I won't be able to do it. Today I'm going to take my new tomato plants that I bought from the shop, there's only 4 of them, and put those in the grow bags. Now, gardeners, people who perhaps don't do gardening, you need to watch the weather at the moment, okay? And you need to watch the weather like a hawk. If there's any indication at all that it might get frosty while you've got your plants out there, your new vegetables, or certainly many of the summer flowering bedding plants, that because it's been warm, people will have gone out and bought bedding plants. If there's any sign of frost, get them inside, because you will lose the lots. This has happened to me once, and only once, right? Where I've left my plants outside and suddenly, because I haven't been watching the weather forecast, the frost has come that night, you come back home, everything's dead. You've lost a lot. They don't come back up, right? They're dead. End of story. So do watch that. If you're going to put plants outside, especially tomato plants and things like that, watch the weather like a hawk. If you can't bring them inside, you must carefully put over something, bubble wrap, perhaps a couple of blankets, anything at all. But of course, be careful not to crush the plant when you're putting all these things on it. But you've got to keep the frost off of those, otherwise it will die. We may be lucky, there may be no frost, but the danger period for frost has not yet passed. How many years have we seen in the UK when we've had a bright, spanking, beautiful, warm Easter, and then suddenly the frost comes back with no warning? Well, warning if you watch the weather forecast. Okay, so watch that like a hawk. So that's my gardening. At last, my gardening has started for the year, and I wasn't actually going to try tomatoes again because I had such bad luck last year. But I was talking to, it's funny, as you go around garden centres, looking at certain sections, people start talking to you. Do you find this? Whenever you're in a garden centre? And this woman, she was looking at tomatoes. I says, oh, and without even thinking, I said to her, I said, I didn't have much luck at all with the tomatoes last year. I said, I lost most of mine to blight. And she said, no, she said, that's what happened last year. Apparently it was a very bad year for a lot of people got blight last year. And then another bloke came over and says, oh, mine were all right. And have you noticed that? People just start talking to you in garden centres. So if you're ever lonely, just walk into your local garden centre and start looking at things, and people will start talking to you. How wonderful is that, dear? Isn't that wonderful? Eh? So we were chatting away, and apparently this woman had the same problem as well. So after that, I thought, oh, go on, give it another go. So I bought the 4 plants, and of course I put the seeds in. Still waiting for the seeds to germinate. So that's it. That's my my gardening news at the moment. I also looked at mushrooms. Now, I can't remember, but I'm sure I did grow mushrooms at some point. And there, in the garden centre, once again, was a mushroom growing kit. And I was reading the instruction. It said, put it somewhere warm and moist, but not in an airing cupboard, which I find a bit strange, because that's the warm place, isn't it? It said, don't put them in an airing cupboard. And I thought, well, you know, it's not that warm yet. I think I'll leave those. Might try those later in the summer. I quite like the idea of growing your own stuff, don't you? I mean, I suppose if one puts one's mind to it, you could actually grow everything that you need, couldn't you? Eh? What do you grow? Do you do any gardening at all? What do you grow? Maybe you're in another country. What things do you grow there that I can't grow here? My cousin, Vince, who's on Norfolk Island in Australia, he has banana trees in his garden. Whenever they want a banana, they just go outside and cut another bunch off. Just amazing. I'd love a banana. We love bananas, don't we? And then every now and again, every year, I think he has to cut the plant right down to the bottom. And he just picks bananas off it. Fantastic. What do you grow? Do let us know. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. And indeed, some emails that have come in today. First of all, from Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer. Who says, follow up to the 16th of March show. In answer to your question about Orlando being near Hollywood, she says sorta. It's about 3.5 hours drive northwest. Oh, blimey, no, that's far too far, isn't it? Is it 3.5? Is that like Hollywood, as in Hollywood, the film place? I'm assuming it is the same place, is it? If so, 3.5 hours drive to Florida. I don't suppose it's that far from Orlando, is it? Because, you know, I'm kind of thinking about coming to Florida again for a little holidays soon, because I haven't been there for a few years now. And I do like the whole Disney and Great Universal thing, and I think my friend Ron wants to go as well, so fingers crossed we might be able to do that. Jennifer says, and iguanas, I don't think you would like them. Oh, I do. No, they are cute little things, iguanas. I like iguanas and lizards and things like that, yes. And they don't hurt you, they run away. And geckos. Do you have geckos in Florida? Those things that stick on the ceiling and run along and eat insects. They're very good, they eat insects, don't come anywhere near us. So I do like iguanas, actually. Jennifer says, they are like miniature dinosaurs. They are actually quite gross. No, they're not gross. Little living things. All living things are beautiful, dear. Except cockroaches. We don't like those. And especially not flying cockroaches, what they have in Australia. Oh, vile. Vile things. My friend has 3 iguanas, and they are pretty boring as pets. They just stay in a cage and eat fruits and veggies. I would have an iguana here, no problem. Yeah, I would have I probably wouldn't sneeze either, would I? Not with an iguana, dear. Can you pick them up and stroke them? Can you actually touch them? Do they like being touched? I like their eyes. Their eyes move independently of each other, don't they? Wouldn't it be fabulous to have eyes that move independently of each other? Recently, during a couple of our extreme cold snaps, a lot of iguanas died. They can't handle the cold. So, as I told you about the property where I open bread for the cows, it's a very large pond with many trees and shrubbery. The iguanas eventually froze and never defrosted. Oh, poor things, dear. They fell out of the trees and stank up the pond, something horrid. Oh, dear. There must have been around 20 or 30 dead iguanas decaying in the water. Oh, the poor things. We should give them blankets. Iguanas should be distributed blankets, dear. As for cows eating the bread that I feed, according to Bear, cows will eat anything that don't eat them first. Oh, is that right? One actually ate a plastic bag out the back of my pickup truck. Well, we must be going now. Hope you have a splendid afternoon, evening, or whatever time it might be, from Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer. Lovely to hear from you, darling. Chris at UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk, my email address. Do join in, boys and girls. Hello to Millie in Minnesota. Shame on you, picking on your poor sister Sharon like that. I wonder why she puts up with you the way you torment her all the time. If you ask me, she ought to be canonised as a saint. I doubt very much that will be happening to my sister. I am hoping to be canonised, incidentally, while I'm still alive. I want to be the first ever live saint. What do you reckon? Will a halo appear above my head? If you and Ronnie do end up going to Florida, can I recommend that one of the parks you should go to is Disney's Animal Kingdom? Going there is just like going to Africa on safari, and is amazing. I know this from personal experience. Millie, I've already been to Disney's... oh, I just hit my head. I've already been to Disney's Animal Kingdom in Florida, and guess what? I didn't like it. Didn't rate it at all. I thought it was... It didn't do anything for me at all, actually. That's my least favourite of parks. Funny you should mention that. And, you know, I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't particularly think... I didn't dislike it, but I didn't think much of it either. So, interesting that, Millie, we differ there. In other news, Millie, one of our regular correspondents, my parents, Suzanne and Don, will be off to Russia in May for about a month before taking their usual trip to northern Minnesota, where we have our cottage. Oh, Russia. Isn't it always cold there, dear? Well, I don't think I'd like Russia. I'd like to see the buildings are pretty wonderful, though, aren't they, in Russia? They usually stay there for 6 months out of the year, arriving in June just in time to help me celebrate my birthday, and then leaving either just after the Christmas period or after the New Year. How wonderful. The cottage. What's the weather like where your cottage is? Is it seasons? Is it cold and hot or what? I'm telling you this because according to my mum, you and I will both be getting surprises from Russia, where my parents get back when they get back. I can see you blushing as you read this, but honestly, I've talked so much about you to both of my parents that they now consider you part of the family, dear. I can't just be joining families willy-nilly, Millie. Willy-nilly, Millie. Oh, how wonderful. A little gift for me. In fact, they always enjoy watching the video version of the podcast with me whenever I come to the cottage to visit. Well, I hope they see this programme, dear. Especially because I am wearing today one of my Ted Baker shirts that a while ago I couldn't wear because I was too fat. Well, you may remember on 2 shows ago we did our weekly weigh-in and I was 13 stone 2.6. My next weigh-in, I think, is on the next show or the one after. I can't remember what. But we have succeeded in losing weight. I've done this by giving up crisps and chocolate for Lent. Okay? And also cutting right back. I mean, right back on bread. And replacing one of my snacks with a 97-calorie yogurt. We do like a yogurt, dear. Nice. My favourite are strawberry yogurts. And what's the other one? I can't remember what the other yogurt is now. Oh, hang on a minute. What's the time? Have we run out of time? Oh, no, we've got another minute or so left. Oh, dear me. I thought we'd run out of time then. So I've managed to lose a bit of weight. And I'm wearing one of my Ted Baker shirts that I bought off eBay. Dirt cheap. And it now fits. Eh? How fantastic. I am succeeding. I am. Let's have a look there. This email got a bit more long-winded than I expected. Don't even say it. You're worse than me when it comes to rabbiting on. Beg pardon, dear? What do you mean, rabbiting on? I barely... It's a chat show, dear. These people do make me laugh when they write in and say, why do you talk so much? It's a chat show. It'd be a bit silly if I was sitting here in complete silence for half an hour, wouldn't it, dear? Eh? Say hello to Gwen for me when you speak to her next. Love and cuddles from Millie. So thank you for that. News off Gwen. She's okay, but she seems to be getting extremely tired at the moment. Now, apparently there was when she went for her treatment. They did tell her one of the side effects of the treatment will go on for a long period of time, and that is the tiredness. She gets extremely tired, and they told her if you get tired, you've just got to give in to it. You know, go to bed and be done with it. All right. So that's the news of Gwen, and that's nearly it today. Oh, there's a programme. If you're in the UK, try and watch a programme on BBC 3, I think it is. On Sunday nights at 9 o'clock, Undercover Princess. This is where 3 princesses from other countries have come to the UK in search of a man. All right? And the idea is they've come to this country so people don't know that they're princesses, and they're looking for a man in various different places. One of them picked up a bloke in the supermarket, and he's gorgeous. Another one went on this blind date, and the 2 of them literally sat there in silence for the whole time. Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone on a date? So you've got to this place with whoever it is, and you find that you've just got nothing to talk about, and that there's no connection there. Has that ever happened to you? And you just sit there like a lemon, don't you? If it has, do let us know. I'd like to hear those stories. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Thanks very much for watching and listening to the show today. I'll see you on the next one. For myself, Chris Reardon. Bye-bye now.